rolling. Hello, how are y'all doing today? Y'all like my bonnet, by the way? Got this little piece of Walmart. This week, I'm making this video because it's a little personal. I worked at a vape shop for a little bit, and I got to firsthand witness myself and others get off of cigarettes. You know, I was mainly just there for a job, but you know, it was cool to see. You know, it was a chill job, cool place. And I'm mainly making this video this week because I keep seeing more and more of these goofy ass anti-vaping, anti-smoking campaigns, ads all over Instagram, YouTube. There's a bunch of like weird, goofy TikToks about them too. And what gets me the most is that in every single ad that's specifically about vaping, it's can harm, could have, might cause. Like, they have zero evidence, hard-hitting evidence to say that vaping is solely the cause of your medical problems. Yeah, but they don't have any solid proof to go off of. It's all just kind of to scare you. It's all for good entertainment. And it's all just like everything else in America. It's to make money at the end of the day. It's not like they're actually trying to help people or they want people to stop smoking. If anything, it's been kind of like a whole dare campaign. If anything, it's shown kids that it can be not as harmful. Basically, these weird, goofy ads that I've been seeing are just, they're not targeted at the right audience. They're not targeted at any audience, to be honest. They're just super confusing, and I'll get to that in a little bit. Another point that I have is that smoking or inhaling anything other than air is bad for you. And there's actually some studies that say if you live in certain parts of the world that breathing in the natural smog or just the terrible air of the area is like smoking a pack a week or like a pack a day in some places. So what are you supposed to do there? Just not breathe, just carry around oxygen everywhere? Like, smoking and inhaling things are bad for you. Like, people know this. People have been doing it since the dawn of time. There's no need to go out and put King Bach or like Jojo Siwa shaking her ass to tell you to stop smoking. You know, it's just not gonna happen.
If you vape, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs.
And most of the harmful chemicals that they do mention, like these metals or pesticides and stuff in these vapes, are in the bootleg vapes that people have found either on the street or the THC ones that were, I mean, they're still a problem, but they were definitely more of a problem a few years ago. But as laws and regulations allow vape companies to make these things, there is no need for aftermarket vape flavors if they can just go to the store and get it safely, because at that point you are going to get sus and bootleg materials in your vape. And the only reason they haven't, or I should say can't, ban vaping is because it's mainly two ingredients: propylene glycol, which is essentially water. It's short for PG, and the other active ingredient is vegetable glycerin. It has a little bit of natural sweetness. It helps bind the flavors together. And again, like, you have to put something in it. And these are two very, very safe products. You know, it has to be something in there. It can't just be Dr. Pepper or water. You know what I mean? Yeah, but that's why they can't ban it, because PG and VG, even if you don't vape, you eat or consume or rub it on your body at least once a day. I guarantee you. These ingredients are in everything, from food to cosmetics to medications, salad dressings even. It's also used in a lot of weird things, but you know, so is the McRib. You know, that shit had like traces of like yoga mats in it or something at some point. So yeah, like, it comes in bath products, engine coolants, paints, cushions, you know. But what are you gonna do? They've both been around since the 1800s, PG and VG. So they've been around. You know, if they had any truly harmful side effects, I think we'd probably see it by now. And other than that, it's literally just a little bit of flavoring. Almost every single flavoring you can find also in either foods or candies or like candles or shit like that. Like, again, it's not ideal at the end of the day, but it's better than huffing down a cigarette, you know, full of tar and actual chemicals that can kill you. Actual chemicals that have been proven will give you cancer. And that's what I mean. And cigarette commercials and ads, they will go out of their way and say can, will, because it's been proven fact that it will give you cancer. As in vaping, yeah, studies have been shown they can't. It's old enough to where if there were any actual harmful side effects, we'd be seeing them by now. And what's crazy too is that the anti-vaping budget is bigger than the vaping budget in general. Because you got to think, how many vape commercials have you ever seen in your life? I don't even think they've ever been allowed. Vape, for the most part, has just always been word of mouth. You know, since like 2010, you've seen these douchebags with these giant vapes blowing clouds, and now you got these cool little trendy teenagers smoking Nick Salts and Elf bars and all these weird disposables. From products like Fume or Foom, you know, I'm sure you've seen ads from YouTubers or people you watch on Twitch or just something like that toting some of these products, some lozenges, some gums, even anti-smoking therapy. You know, they have like things that you can fall asleep to hopefully get you to stop smoking.
You simply take fresh air into your body, and you love being a non-smoker.
There's alternatives for everything these days, and the only reason that people are trying to veer away from these alternatives is because it's stopping money from big tobacco. And it's extra funny because lozenges and gum and stuff like that, some of these patches have just as many side effects, if not more, than vaping. Like vaping, you can argue has maybe a few side effects, but these things can give you rashes, make you sick. You know, you can only chew them for a certain amount of time. They give you a fucking crazy head rush, like instantly. A recent study that shows vaping worked better than patches and gum. And this was a recent study. So it's coming out, like, you can't deny vaping. Like, it's a good alternative to smoking. It's not better than smoking. Doing fucking nothing is better than smoking. You know, sitting in a purified house all day, every day, that's the best thing to do. You know, live like a fucking turtle. You'll live to be 103. But it's like, and the main reason I bring half this shit up is because Philip Morris International, the company behind Marlboro and other cigarettes along that company, they are the founder and main funder for the Smoke Free World Foundation, which is just super interesting. And that made me look more into other popular anti-smoking ads and campaigns. And I found that the Truth Initiative, founded in 1999 by Philip Morris, R.J. Reynolds, Brown and Williamson, and Lillard, something. They were all forced essentially to tell the public that smoking is terrible for you, and that they were essentially forced by the government and with the government to fund and tell the public how bad smoking and things like that were for you. I, although, think that the Truth Initiative inadvertently showed each and every one of these huge companies how much money they can make in anti-smoking by either selling lozenges, gum, or just putting ads into anti-vaping to push people to cigarettes when they ultimately can't just stop smoking out of nowhere. And smoking, like almost every other big boogeyman aspect, are on an actual downward trend. It's all across the board, actually, has been down for the past 20 years. So, you know, that's a big positive, and you can almost associate what came out about 20 years ago, or within the last 20 years. Vapes and all these innovations to the tobacco or nicotine industry, I should say. Because that's what I mean. People just want nicotine. They don't give a fuck about tobacco. You know, and these ads are claiming that, you know, it could be your kid. It probably is your kid. Watch out. It might be your child.
But their kid? Never.
You know, because all it does at the end of the day is most of these ads, it just scares the parents, and it just shows the kids. You know, kids are little fucking assholes. If you tell them not to do something, they're going to do it. And especially if you say, don't smoke, or hey, don't vape, you're like, oh, I have alternatives now? That's kind of cool. And that's why vaping is the biggest target right now, is because they can't outlaw it. The two active ingredients are literally everything and have been around for too long. And again, if there was any type of relative proof that vaping did X, Y, or Z, we would have heard about it by now. It would be on every package. All it says is nicotine is an addictive chemical. That's all that is on these vape packages. If that's the best they can come up with, it must not be that fucking bad, because there's pictures of fucking teeth rotting out, nasty lungs and shit on cigarette packs. Maybe not here, but like that's definitely a scare tactic they use across the whole world. They can't do that to vape products because they have no correlation. They don't want to get fucking sued. This would be the biggest goddamn lawsuit in the history of forever. It really is a shame to not put money and research into vapes and maybe show people that it could be a good alternative, or to make it an anti-smoking product, because it very well could. I'm not saying they should, but imagine if like Marlboro Newports had little fucking disposables next to their cigarettes. You know, I think that's a lot healthier than puffing through igniting tobacco. You know, igniting anything, I think, is way worse than vaporizing it. And it's extra funny too, because when you're scrolling through some of the statistics that they've tried to break down on like what demographics smoke or who smokes and why, they're breaking this shit down like they're looking for the fucking Zodiac killer. Like they have every possible statistic laid out in percentages, demographic. It's like, dude, it's not that fucking deep. People just want to nice. That's all people want. That's all people want to do. They don't care about, are you divorced? Are you what tax bracket do you come from? These things might play a little bit, but it's like at the end of the day, I think smoking is so fucking universal too. It's done by everybody from your great grandma to little fifth graders in elementary school. I'm not saying it makes it right, but it happens, because I'm not just saying this is a America problem. This has been an issue since we found tobacco in caveman times, since the dawn of time across the world. Vaping, smoking, ingesting tobacco and nicotine will happen literally until the fucking sun explodes. And I guarantee you, at that moment, there will be tons of people, God damn, gotta get that last ciggy. You know, that'd be me. I gotta get that last little puff of that Newport before the sun explodes. Yeah, I really think Truth inadvertently showed how much money these companies can make putting money into anti-smoke and anti-vaping campaigns, because now they have both sides of the coin. And God forbid these parents just take action in their children's lives, or maybe figure out why they're smoking, or why they're doing these things, or why they're ingesting these things, because addiction is hereditary. You know, these things run in the family for most people, so it's not just an issue that little Jessica just decided to pick up. You know, maybe look at the deeper issues. Why can't we just all agree that we do something that isn't awesome? You know, people drink, smoke, do all types of drugs, do all types of harmful things that aren't even like, people do harmful things all the fucking time, and we don't bat an eye. And if it's not tobacco companies funding these dog shit ads, it's our very own taxpayers. You know, every state, I'm sure you've heard of them, like, or seen ads for them. You know, they'll send you free lozenges, gum.
I was afraid of passing it through my breast milk.
Things in the mail to get you to stop smoking, and I think that's great, but you know, there's other alternatives. Like, that's an alternative. It's not like they're the perfect end all to smoking either. It's like people get on patches, get addicted to them too, and then still keep smoking. It's like it's not a problem solver. And it's extra funny too, because it's kind of hard to find some of these like crazy ads that I've seen of like dinosaurs blowing up like packs of cigarettes and shit. And I know you've seen them, the ads that I'm talking about. They're like on TikTok and like specifically targeted toward children. And this whole thing just gives me Elvis sucks energy. I don't know if you saw the Elvis movie or not. You know, he was the merch god, and part of his merchandising was he sold buttons and merchandise against himself, so he'd at least be making the money off of it. You know what I mean? Because it's like, hey, if these people are gonna fucking hate me and put this shit out there, I might as well be the ones putting it out there. You know, I might as well be the ones making the moolah. So it's like, to sum it up, that's the only type of comparison I have for it, is for it to just be profitized, and innocent people who do need help to be preyed upon at the end of the day is just discouraging to see. You know, people who do have problems and are seeking help and are currently just have another demon to face. We have classics like Left Swipe Dat. I don't know if y'all remember this. Had a bunch of fucking YouTubers and shit on it back in the day.
You gotta swipe it left. Yeah. You gotta swipe it left. Swipe that.
Basically just a big anti-smoking, anti-vaping campaign. And it's cringe as shit. It's terrible. It's funny because like the only way they can do it too is kind of like bullying children. Like, you don't want to be gross. Don't smoke. You don't want people to think you're stinky. You don't want people to think you're stinky and smelly. Ugh. The ads for children are never like, hey, here's X, Y, and Z on why this is bad for you. It's just like, left swipe that.
Whoop, whoop. Parents are all the same when it comes to vaping.
Bye, Mom. Bye, honey.
None of them think their kid is doing it.
Not my kid.
Where you got this little fucking kid blowing absolute clouds. Not my kid. Not my precious little Timmy. Those are the coolest kids in the school, by the way.
Maybe some on the soccer team. Definitely that kid with the purple hair.
Definitely that freak with the purple hair.
This is what a vape can do to your lungs. Let's put it to the test.
I hate this bitch with all my heart.
I'm gonna put it in this cleaning machine and we're gonna see what it does in the water. Now let's see what gross stuff comes out of here. Okay, it's been some time. Let's see what your lungs look like if you vape. Okay. Wait. Ew! No!
So this Oompa Loompa just puts this vape in a little tub of water, and let's see what it looks like. And it's just like brown water. Like, what do you expect? But put a fucking cheeseburger in water, bitch. It's gonna look disgusting. Like, what? Yeah, again, it's really hard to find these like goofy ads because they're only targeted towards children. Like, I know they upload them, but like I'm looking up just like anti-vape ads and you can't find them.
If you vape, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs.
Again, you could be inhaling toxic metals into your lungs. Could be. This is all a what if.
To show how scary that is, we made metal monsters. But nothing is as scary as the facts.
Nothing can be as serious as the facts. This can do this. It's like, well, that's not a fact, dude.
Vaping can deliver toxic metals like nickel and lead into your lungs.
Didn't this big metal monster teach you anything, brother? It's like, no, you fucking dummy. Jesus Christ. This shit just grinds my gears. Just because there is people out there who chain smoke like a bitch and who have fucking serious problems.
Breathe in and wonder, is this helping? Zero cloud. breathe out. Now you should feel much worse. Vaping nicotine can actually increase feelings of stress and anxiety. Let's call a vape what it is. It's a breath of stress air. See for yourself. breathofstressair.com.
This one literally says nobody likes you, and it's like the visual representation of anxiety just happens on the screen, and it's like, it's just all fear mongering. It's just all bullshit.
Do you want to go outside for a fart? Yeah. We talk. We fart. Just because I fart at parties now and then, it doesn't make me a farter.
Anyways, I'm gonna wrap this up. I could go on about this for a while, but you know, it's not that deep, to be honest. Anyways, I really appreciate it. I hope you guys like this little video. Yeah, be sure to follow me, drop a like, be sure to comment, subscribe. Check me out on anything and everything at EXX47. Thanks.